Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn Live. Today, we're going to be talking about effective Facebook ads marketing, and we're going to be joined today by one of our coaches and trainers as well on Facebook ads. I know you're going to love him because he has been in this niche for a long period of time. He owns his own agency. But before we're going to go further into this topic and bring in our special guest for tonight, please let me know where you're coming from or where you're watching right now. Please also go ahead and feel free to share this video to everybody who will need this training. Anybody, may they be freelancers or marketers or business owners or YouTubers or streamers or those with online presence who may be needing Facebook ads marketing or may have been trying Facebook ads marketing but is not really effective or is probably learning or probably not understanding how it will effectively work. So share this with them, tag them, because I know this is going to be very helpful. Again, our special guest for tonight has been doing this not just with his very own agency and with Surge, but with a lot of other clients. So you're in a good hands or in a good understanding moving forward. All right. So again, our topic is going to be Facebook ads marketing. And again, this is brought to you by Surge Marketplace. We are here to empower people as we are into social empowerment. My name is Grace. For those of you who don't know me yet, I have been here and we're going live every Tuesday. This is completely free here in our different streaming platforms. So we are live usually in YouTube, but for tonight, we're also live in LinkedIn and Facebook. Okay, so we have here people watching from a lot of people from Cagayan de Oro. Okay, thank you very much. We have Cagayan de Oro, Batangas, we have Caloocan. Good evening, Jason. CDO, Quezon City, Mandaluyong, Pampanga, CDO again, CDO, okay. We have from Davao, Rizal, Isabela, Davao, Cavite, CDO. Wow, people in Cagayan de Oro City. Why are you all here? No, I'm just kidding. We also have San Pablo or Pablo City, Davao, also, what's LC2? Okay, let me know, Gwinnett. Negros, also hi to everybody watching and saying good evening. Okay, Bataan and more. Okay, we have people from Cebu, Kpis, Batangas, all over the Philippines. Okay, so far I'm not seeing outside the country, so let me know. Okay, so there's RLC Residentials, Residences Cebu. Okay, thank you very much, Jensen. People watching from Taiwan, Baguio. Okay, Rojas City, Panabo. Right, thank you so much for letting me know. Again, my name is Julmar Grace Luxin. As you can see here, I'm a mom, my wife, a business owner, and I'm a Christian. So we're very much guided by the mission to empower people's lives. I'm a business owner myself. So if you are a business owner, we have been imparting strategies and techniques on how you can leverage your online presence in different platforms, may it be Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. So I hope that this is going to benefit you. I have my master's in education, master's in entrepreneurship, and these are some of my fields of expertise. This is brought to you by FVA Business Consultancy Corporation under the brand Surge Marketplace, which is the world's one-stop freelancing marketplace. And we are providing courses, also services and solutions. So when it comes to courses, these are our courses right here, and these are some of our partners and collaborations recently. So just like what I mentioned tonight, we're going to be talking about how you can leverage your business using Facebook ads, and not just Facebook ads, but effective Facebook ads marketing. So we are going to discuss what is Facebook ads marketing, how you can start one, and the tips on how to do it effectively. So the next few minutes, I'm going to bring in our guest here, and he will go through with the content and the discussion for probably 30 minutes, and then we'll have a few minutes for question and answer. So maybe if you have questions, you're going to write them all down. And then towards the end, the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes of our discussion, because we're going to be here for at least an hour, will be our question and answer. And before we're going to end, I will be giving you a code. So please make sure that you are here. So please ensure that you're getting the code, because you need the code for the certification. Because after this streaming, we are going to send you the feedback form. And by the way, the feedback form is going to be live and available within 5 days. And the feedback form will ask you of the code. And that's why you need to finish the whole thing and or go back to this video, because you need to have the code, and then the code will be your basis in order for you to fill in the feedback form, and then your feedback form will be the basis of the certification and a gift that we're going to be giving you. So when we're going to give you a gift, it's really a gift. It's something that you will really enjoy. Okay, so watch out for that. We don't share it live, only to the people that are joining our live training or our virtual training or our streaming. So watch out for that. But again, for us to be able to give you that gift, you have to add the code into the feedback form, and that feedback form will be the basis of your certification, right? So I hope that this has been very helpful in all of your online presence. May you be a freelancer or a business owner or a brand yourself. So please don't hesitate to connect with us at Surge Marketplace. You can also email me, Grace, at surgedigital.agency. And then, of course, you can check out our training videos, also our courses via academy.surgedigital.agency. So again, we will be sending a gift later on. So please go ahead and wait for that code, and then we will send it to you directly to your email. Right. So just like what I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be joined by an expert in Facebook ads. Actually, he has been handling Facebook ads for a long period of time, and not just as a trainer or a coach, but as an agency owner himself. His name is Coach Gab, okay? And he's going to introduce more about himself, but a little bit of a preview about him. He used to be our very own Surge Marketplace student, okay? I know that he was a marketing manager in one of the companies. He was considered one of the top marketing manager all around the Philippines. Okay, I think in the Philippines or Asia or something like that. He was going to share more about that. And then he kind of thought that he wants to help more people, and heard from the Lord to leave that job and leave that distinction and all, and continue into the mission of helping other people. So he enrolled in many of our courses, and out of that, he created an agency that's very effective to a lot of clients here and abroad. And that's where he's also helping a lot of business owners in Facebook ads. So the things that he's going to share with you are proven and effective, not just as a trainer, but also as an agency owner that he's applying to all of his clients, here and around the world. So without further ado, please help me welcome Coach Gab. Hi, Coach. Good evening. Hi.
Hi, Coach. Good evening. Kamusta, everyone?
Hi. And another fun fact for about Coach, by the way, is he just got married to the beautiful Mrs. Kat Lucero now. Go ahead and share more a little bit about, that how's married life so far, Coach? Just
Adjusting, Coach, but they say that marriage is always a blessing. So with all the things happening around us, it's always a challenge to, this is the life set. They say this is the life sentence that everybody does not want to get into, but I think it's really a blessing from God to be married
true,
and have that
true.
lifetime partnership.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, today also I'm celebrating my 11th year anniversary with my husband, Coach
Congrats.
Jay, and I could attest to that, Coach. Like when I got married, the first thing that I actually realized, like, wow, this is actually really fun. Like finally, I have something to be with. I'm not alone or something like that. So yeah, welcome to the world of marriage, and it's going to be exciting. Yep. So, yes, I'm going to give the floor to you, Coach. I know that you have a gift to everybody today, and it's on Facebook ads. And it's not just Facebook ads marketing, but really effective ways how people can leverage their Facebook marketing, maybe doing it as a freelancer or as a business. So go
Yes.
ahead and share what you prepared for us.
All right, thank you, Coach. So, as mentioned by Coach Grace, I'm one of the, I think, first few students of Surge. I started enrolling last 2016, and I've enrolled to a lot of, uh, I enrolled to a lot of lessons or courses in Surge, and after some few years, I'm already here. So it's really, it's a testament that when you learn something, when you have that desire to really equip yourself with knowledge, then it's really, really possible. You just have to go through the right process so that the product can be guaranteed. So again, good evening, everyone. My name is Gabriel Lucero, and I'm one of the coaches in Surge, and I teach Facebook ads and Facebook marketing. So one question that we need to ask ourselves: why did we tag this as effective Facebook marketing? Because we need to acknowledge that although resources are already available, but we just think that as as long as we know how to run ads, or as long as we know how to set up our ad structure, then we think that's it. But ultimately, there is a correct way, or there is an effective way to do that, and that's why we are having this conversation today. So again, my name is Gabriel Angelo Lucero, and just a little bit of the company background of Surge. We started last 2016. It was registered as FVA Business Consultancy, and we opened in the United States after 3 years under the trade name FVA Business Consultancy LLC. And we have offices in the Philippines and around the world, and we have trainers and coaches all around the globe. And Surge trains thousands of students through its online courses around the world. And in fact, we already have, I think, around 35,000 who enrolled in our many courses. So yeah, that's really great news for everyone. And Surge is a marketplace providing trained and experienced digital experts to the business world. We offer online jobs courses to freelancers, virtual assistants, services to brands and businesses, and franchising opportunities. Our core values, we couldn't stress this enough, but really about relevance in the marketplace. The competition is getting tougher by the day, by the hour, or by the year. So we need to make sure that we need to equip ourselves with necessary information to be few steps ahead of the competition. And we also believe that everyone deserves freelancing opportunities, freedom for your time, so that you can spend more time with the people that you love. Exceptional services, innovative creativity, and impacting communities. So our vision is digital global leadership. Our mission is equipping freelancers, empowering marketers, enabling businesses. The goal is to impacting the world through digitalization, one life at a time. So a little bit of a credibility build up, as what Coach Grace already mentioned a while ago. I'm one of the top 25 young marketing leaders of the Philippines last 2015, the first from Mindanao to actually win a slot after more than a decade. And then I am also a digital marketing expert since 2015. And then I finished my master in management at UP Mindanao last 2018. And I'm the CEO and co owner of the Dream Team PH Digital Marketing Agency. So we cater clients from the Philippines, from Australia, from the US, and of course from Canada. So we offer a full service digital marketing agency. We do social media, we do Facebook ads, we do web design, web development, we do SEO, we do email marketing, we do content writing, we do app development. So we have a whole, a full service digital marketing agency. And I also used to teach for 2 years. I just actually just paused teaching recently because, as mentioned a while ago, I got married, so I had to focus there. And then I used to teach business and communications in one of the universities here in Davao City. And then I am The Dream Team is also an awardee for the Push Start Business Incubation, the Dream Team by DTI Philippines and PTTC. We also received a plaque of accomplishment, the Dream Team, Outstanding Performance and Completion of Innovative Startup Knowledge Optimizer program by UP Mindanao and the OST 11. So this is uh this is an award that they call Mindanaon. They give it to accomplished businesses here in Mindanao. And the Dream Team was also a finalist for EB's Startup Challenge at Penang, Malaysia. So we competed with many different companies all around the globe, and we were one of the finalists last 2021. I do a lot of speaking engagements. Just also recently, I was invited to one of the schools here in Mindanao, and then I am an entrepreneur. I am a businessman, and of course, a life group leader. And I consider myself a servant leader for Jesus. So much for that. I'd like to ask everyone, what are the two ways people can show interest in your product or service? Can I see on the comment section what are the two ways people can show interest in your product or service? Is it like and share? Is it commenting? Is it purchasing? Is it talking about it to other people, or what we call word of mouth? So may I know on the comment section, what do you think are the two ways people can show interest in your product or service? They buy according to Sir Rene Anthony Ramirez. So shout out to my friend Sir Reno, one of the frontliners here in Davao City. And we also have here adverts. They purchase, if they inquire, if they send me a PM or sharing, commenting and purchasing, commenting or messaging, link clicks, direct reaching, inquiry, I think like and sharing, heart reaction, comments, and message, buy and recommend. So these are good answers, but there are two things that you should remember that will give you a benchmark if people or your audience are really interested in your product or service. The main two ways that you will know is that if they give you their time, that's number one, and if they give you their money. So those are the two ways that we can know, or we can have a leverage if people are really, if people are trying to have interest, or people are really interested in what we offer through our products and services. So remember that the two ways that people show interest are time and money, because we will that is where our discussion will really, just zero in. So how does it work? How does effective Facebook marketing work? How does time and money actually are used as a way of us, as a benchmark to really understand if our Facebook ads or our Facebook ad marketing is really effective? So I'd like to give you a little bit of a background for the sake of those who are here to, just really understand the fundamental concept of Facebook ads. So it's basically, uh, it's a paid advertisement from businesses that are written in their voice and help reach the people who matter most to them. It is now one of the most effective tools to grow your business, create loyal customers, and of course, generate leads and sales. Over 3 million businesses are actually advertising on Facebook. So can I have a survey? How many from all our live audience already have an experience running ads, so that we'll just know the the I mean, so just we'll know the experience of our audience. Can you type one, or can you type, yes coach, I have already run some ads before, so that we'll just know if you guys were able to see the back end of Facebook Business Manager. So we have from Maria Carmen Fernando, Glenn, Luella, Marjorie, Marisol, Jolly, PHL Properties for Delisa. So we have ample number of people who have already tried this, but I kind of have a bias when it comes to Facebook ads marketing, when it comes to Facebook advertising. Well, number one, that's the reason why I chose to be a coach for Facebook ads and Facebook marketing. It's because I really have a bias towards it, because I believe that this is one of the, or if not the most important part of the marketing mix. I mean, we have the email marketing, we have social media marketing, we have word of mouth, we have, the traditional ones. But I have a bias towards this because every money that you spend on Facebook ads, there is always a money that is guaranteed to, be generated as a revenue, as long as you do it well, or as long as you do it correctly, right? So when we do Facebook ads, yes, we spend a little, or we spend a significant amount of money, but we have that goal that this money that I spend, or this ad spend, or this budget that I have for Facebook ads, will always come back to me in a form of customer, in a form of revenue, as long as I know, or as long as I settle with myself that the way that I do my Facebook ads is, I do it effectively. So next is, so we also have some people here who do not have any experience with Facebook ads. Some are newbies, so that's fine. We are all here to try to make everyone um, understand Facebook ads, and of course, I will also be giving you some additional tips that I don't usually share, but I just use this as one of our strategies in serving our clients. So some information about FB ads. Ads can appear in newsfeed on desktop. We also see it newsfeed on mobile, and in the right column of Facebook on desktop. We can also see other ad content paired with news about social actions that your friends have taken, or like liking a page. So more information about it. Your friends might see news about the social actions you have taken in Facebook ads. This news will only be shown to your confirmed friends, and will adhere to the applicable privacy settings that you've set for your account. If a photo is used, it's your profile photo and not a photo from your photo album. So it's more on making sure that Facebook doesn't sell your info to advertisers. Next is, now let's discuss the ways on how to effectively create Facebook ads marketing. So I will be giving you three main strategies, and I just also would like to note, guys, that these are not based on theory, but these are based on what I do personally, or what we do in our agency to serve our clients locally and here and abroad. All right. If you are excited, can you press two so that I'll know if you guys are excited about what you will be about we will all be learning this evening. Can you type two if you are all excited? All right, that's great. So we are seeing a lot of responses here. So on to our first point. First is identify your business objective. So how do we do that? It's also important to consider what your business goals are. It's important to know what you want to achieve in order to choose the right objective. So this is the key word here. We will not be able to have an effective Facebook marketing if we are not aware of what our business goals are. It is always directly related to our business goals. Your advertising objective is what you want people to do when they see your ads. So let's explain more of that. So this is the effective customer life cycle with conversion. We start with a reach. We try to reach out to the customers. We do an acquisition, we do conversion, then we do loyalty, and then we do retention. The common mistakes of a lot of business owners, or a lot of, let's say for example, freelancers, is that they go directly to selling. They go directly to getting the information from their customers without really understanding on which part of this life cycle my business is currently at. That is very important because again, if you have not identified your stage in the customer life cycle, you won't be able to choose the right objective for your ads. So, how do we choose a campaign objective? We have three ways in order for us to classify these campaign objectives. First, we have the awareness, we have the consideration, and we have the conversion. And under awareness, we have the brand awareness, we have the reach, we have under consideration, we have traffic, engagement, app installs, video views, etc. Under conversions, we have conversions, catalog sales, and store traffic. So let's ask ourselves, with these campaign objectives, how do we first identify what will be our campaign objective for our first ad? Then let's go back to the question: where is my business currently at in terms of the business cycle? Am I in the reaching out? Am I a new business? Am I trying to reach out to new customers? Am I trying to penetrate the market? Am I trying to acquire customers? Am I trying to get leads from them? So again, we always go back to that question: where am I in the customer journey? Where am I in my business? So that you'll know exactly what will be your campaign objective. So let's discuss this one by one: awareness, consideration, and conversion. And later on, I will also be adding two that is not also included here. So, by the way, for those who have not gone through the Facebook Business Manager, this interface is what you can actually see inside the Facebook Business Manager. So, when you run an ad, they get to let you choose from these campaign objectives. So, let's discuss one by one. First is the awareness, right? So this is to make sure that you appeal to any type of emotions. This is where we start. If we have a new business, if we have a new client, if our business is new, or if we're trying to penetrate the Facebook, or if we're trying to use Facebook ads or Facebook marketing for our for increasing our sales, you need to understand that awareness is where you start. You need to make sure that people get to know who you are, where you are, and people get to know what you are doing. So you should ask yourself, what's something that will make the audience stop and pay attention? So if you appeal to any type of emotions, you need to you can know this if you know your audience. All right, and I will give you one example. This is one of the malls here in Mindanao, KCC Mall of Jensen. They are not our sponsors, but baka naman now. So they are one of the how do I say that? But they are one of the many malls that are really doing a very good job when it comes to marketing. So they mentioned here they are a mall, but their brand awareness or but their campaign is like this: papayatin ako, not now, pero not sure, right? And it's getting a lot of engagement. It's getting a lot of reach. And another thing is on the right side, the juice. So if you take out the ice, it's just Ju or JU. So the main point is that KCC Mall of Jensen really understood that the main appeal to emotion that their market has is entertainment, and a content that will really make them laugh. So if you can observe, guys, most of the content that we see, if you are in TikTok, most of the things that you see there, even on the watch page of Facebook, you can see there are a lot of funny videos. You can see there are a lot of funny content because that's what most of the target market, or that's what most of the audience is really trying to consume now one of these days. So usually the more serious ones, the very straight to the point content usually does not sell to the market anymore. But you need to understand what kind of emotion is appealing to my target market. If we are selling to the mass people, to the general people, or to the general population, then we need to understand what is that something that will tickle their emotion. Do they want to be entertained? Do they want to laugh? Do they want to have a break from a very serious life, or do they want to really have a time to be serious? So it's really up to our understanding, and it's really up to our testing what really works for our business. But the good way to start is to do according to Wendell Redondo here in our comment section, is to we need to be witty in terms of doing ads. We need to make sure that we capture their attention by speaking directly to their emotions. So if you can also observe a lot of ads right now, they use a lot of they also, I mean, I'm targeted with a lot of video games ads, because I also watch the video games ads, and most of the things that they really put there on their ads is yung mga videos na very satisfying to watch, like yung precision, or about about a video that will, you know, show something that that has precision in it. So I'm very particular with those videos, and most of the ads that I'm targeted is yung mga videos that show something like that. So my, you know, the Facebook advertisers of the brands or of the pages that I follow really understand me as their target market. Okay, so next is consideration. So we see this, or we see this on Facebook as engagement. So this is where we provide value to our target market. So on our first stage, we have already captured their attention, right? We have already made them laugh, no? So parang sa love life ng iba nating mga kaibigan, they would say that parang pinasaya niya lang ako, pero in the end, parang iniwan niya ako. So we need to let go of that statement. We can't just, you know, make somebody happy by not, and then we are not willing to follow up on that. So we need to make sure that when we pursue, we also need to make a follow up on that. So the same is true with the engagement. Once you catch their attention, once you made them happy through the content that you have already given them, you need to provide value. All right, that's the process. Number one, make them happy, give them a content that they will be entertained, give them a content that will appeal to their emotions, not necessarily just about entertainment, but something maybe serious. So you need to make sure to follow up on that. Okay? Next is, after you have captured their emotions, after you have captured their attention, provide a value to your target market. So what we need to do, or what we can do with this, is we can give them like free tools, free trainings, free consultations, and whatnot. So right now, one of our biggest clients is abroad, and he has a lot of clinics in Canada and Australia. So since they have a lot of clinics, so what one of the things that they are doing, or we are doing rather, is to make sure that we do free consultations to the clients that are already, I mean, to the audience, or to the target market that are already seeing our campaigns, or that are already seeing our ads. So again, it's not enough that you should just give them something to be happy about, just a content that they are happy about, but give them something that provide a value for them. So you don't sell right away, right? The mistake is that we want to sell right away without really understand that it takes a process. It takes time, and it takes process to build that trust, to build that loyalty rather, and retention, so that during the time that we have already done that, then we can always just sell to them, right? Next is uh, we can also consider like subscription, like something that makes them, or that makes them give something like their time, their information. So on my end, I always give my emails to newsletters, like about the daily journals in the Bible, or maybe daily journals of the music that I'm listening to. So I give them my information because they provide me value. When I give them information, they also provide me value. So that's where the relationship comes in, which is mutual effort. So first is you pursue, you give them happiness, but you don't leave them hanging, right? You the next step is you make sure that you provide value for them. Then hindi pwede na pinasaya mo lang pero iiwan mo. The next thing that you should do is After you made that person happy, give them something that they can value. And that could be the relationship or something like that, but it's mutual. The moment that you give something valuable to them, they will also give something valuable to you, which is their information, which is really, really valuable because a lot of people don't really give that easily. So, again, now this is the third one in our campaign objectives that I showed you earlier. This is where you get the money. So on the first two things, they give you their time. They see your ad, they laugh, they share it to their friends. Oi, look at this. This is very funny. No, oi, look at that. Or I will share this to my feed. I will share this to my IG story, to my day, or I will send it to my crush and I would tell her na, "Uy, baka di ka pa masaya today, so I want to make you happy." So you send them that meme or you send them that information that made you happy during that day. But on the conversion, no, they will not just give you their time, but they will also give you their money, right? So it's they say in relationship, it's impossible to love without giving, but it's always possible to give without loving. But the moment that they already love you because because they spent their time on you, you made them happy, you captured their emotions, and then you provided value for them, that's the time that they begin to fall in love with you. And during that time, it's impossible for an in love person not to give away something, right? Or not to give something to the person that he or she is in love with. And this is the time that they get to purchase something from you. So as you can see, this is always a relationship. The relationship of the business to or the business or the brand to the target market. So you just really need to follow that. You need to build trust. We need to make sure that we are in the process of pursuing them and courting them, because the common misconception of business owners or even freelancers is that we always want to skip awareness, we always want to skip consideration or engagement, and we want to see conversion right away. That doesn't actually work. No, that is not the right way to do Facebook ads, or that's not the right way to do Facebook marketing. Because again, you need to follow the right process, because as they say, if the process is right, the product is guaranteed, or the result is really guaranteed. So don't skip the process. Go through the awareness, appeal to their emotions, then go to consideration, provide value for them, or always let them know that the information or the lead that they will be giving, is something that is of value, and then you're always also willing to provide them something in return, or vice versa. You are giving them information that is very useful for them, hence they will not be hesitant in giving you their information that you can use for your own database, and then next you can already convert them as your customers. Now I would like to add this. I would like to add this. This was actually not on the campaign objectives that Facebook is showing us, but I'd like to give you another step that I also consider when it comes to doing Facebook ads marketing. This should be excite, not conversion. Sorry, this was a typo. So excite. So this is the most underutilized on the whole process. In the whole process of Facebook ad marketing, usually we don't, after they have already bought from us, we don't really give them excitement anymore. So still the same in relationship. During the time that maybe we have already got everything that we need from this one person, and sometimes we lose consistency, sometimes we just really don't make an effort to pursue them, especially for the married ones. It's always a constant challenge, because they would always say, why would I continue pursuing this woman when I already married her? But many of the people would also say that the moment that you married her is also the moment that the challenge of being consistent and pursuing that woman is really stands, and it stands more even in the marriage. So we need to keep the fire burning, kumbaga. After they have given their money, after they have given your time, you don't leave them hanging, because they are already a customer. Kumbaga, they have already given their yes. And that has to be binding, not just here on earth, but also in heaven. So you need to understand that this is a process that is underutilized. So you need to understand, create post-purchase ads, create a video of the CEO, or if you are the CEO or you are serving you are working with a client, and then make the CEO record a video that will be shown to the people who already purchased from you. Like for example, thank you for purchasing, like for example, thank you for purchasing this tumbler, thank you for purchasing our services, or thank you for subscribing to our services, welcome to the tribe. And as a CEO, I'd like to welcome you personally and do the things that are actually not shown on the social media, but are just shown for those people who bought something from your business. So again, it's always about the challenge of keeping the fire burning. We don't stop when they already purchased. We give them excitement. Number two is upsell. So when they already purchased something, then we give them more reasons to buy. For example, they purchased a a service that, let's just label it as X service, right? So if they bought that service from you, or if they subscribe to that service, then this ad of excitement will tell them that since you have already purchased, or since you have already subscribed to X service, then on your next subscription, or on your next purchase of our Y service, another service, you can have it for only 50%, right? So you keep the conversation going, you keep the excitement going by always making sure that you still serve them even after they already gave you something. Next is the lifetime value, which I will also be discussing more later on our KPIs. Events, of course, advocate and promote. And this is actually this is something that I actually learned from Surge, because the information overflow in Surge is really unlimited, right? Trainings like this, or trainings like the trainings that we had before, even the trainings we have every Tuesday, is always something that has value in it. It's not just for the clickbait, it's not just for just getting your information or something like that, but it always gives quality information. It always gives something, just that aha moment, that this is a new information, this is a fresh and new information that I can use as a freelancer, as a business owner. So on the fifth stage of talking to your clients or taking to your target market, you create events, you advocate and promote, because during that moment, these clients of yours, or these target market of yours, will eventually give you UGC, or user generated content. There will be a lot of testimonies, because again, if the process is right, the product is guaranteed. You know what, guys? Everything you see on Surge, like for example, all the testimonials, like recently, I mean, in the past 3 months, we got a testimony from one of the students that she was hired for $25 per hour, and that's really really good. And she mentioned that the reason for that is because of the things that she learned from Surge. And they give that they give that out of their own consent. Usually we don't ask for that anymore. Ako personally, for my students on Facebook ads, they would just send me message, email, WhatsApp, Viber, saying me, "Thank you, coach. This is a very comprehensive course. This is our one-to-one sessions, our live coaching sessions are very useful." It's because that is where we let them advocate and promote our own business, so that when we are already in this stage, we don't have to spend so much on advertising, because all the people that we already serve are already advertising for us. Do you understand? So search is already in the search is already in that stage. I believe that people are advocating and promoting it because it has followed the right process from the very beginning. Search won't be where it is now without going through the awareness, the consideration, the conversion, the excitement, etc. So you can see for yourself how the search family is really growing, because again, as what I told you, if you follow the right process, then we can never really go wrong. So next is, of course, setting the target audience. We have the core audience, we have the custom audience, and then we have the look-alike audience. So this is one of the things. also that I just learned in running ads. I don't think that these things are also taught in many books or even many PDFs that we have already read. But this is just, this is just based on the many experiments that we have also done in our agency. First is we can set the target audience by putting demographics like what their interests are, what their ages are, the age range rather, what are the kind of things that they like, what are the kinds of movies that they watch. So we set that on the demographics. However, I'd like to teach you something which is the blanket audience. If you have a significant amount of budget that you think is relatively higher compared to your competition, and you have a captured location, then don't do detailed targeting, or shall we say don't do hyper targeting. Again, what's the prerequisites of blanket audience? If you have relatively higher ad spend or ad budget, and number two, if you have a captured location, because in that way you are allowing Facebook to show your ads to many different people, and you can use that data that Facebook is giving you by putting your ad on blanket audience, so that you can create a custom audience out of that we call look alike audience. So the main point is that if I run a campaign, I run a campaign in Davao City, that's a captured location, that's a captured market. And if I have a relatively big budget for that campaign, then I will not do any detailed targeting. I will just let Facebook run my campaign, and after a week or two, I already have the data of the people who engaged, and the people who reached out, and the people who actually got interested with my campaign. And after a week or two, I will create a custom audience for that. And this is just a preview, guys, because you will learn how to do this exactly on our Facebook ads marketing course. But going back, now after a week or two, since you already have a data for that, then you can already create a custom audience, a lookalike audience, so that the data that you got from Facebook will be used on your own to your own advantage. What's the main purpose of that? What's the main reason? Listen to this. It is because of the target market's interests, the target market's demographics are fast changing. Even Google, they change their algorithm regularly, because we do also SEO. Ako personally, I also do SEO, and the rules and the algorithm for Google really changes, because they also need to keep up with the changes on how the target market is actually performing, or how the target market is actually living their lives, trying to have or trying to change their interest. So the main point is that what we know about our target market in the past 6 months may not be true right now. So we can't always just put like 20 to 50 people. They are interested with social media. They're interested with good teeth. They're interested with funny movies. Yes, you know that about them, but the question is, do this information still stand after 6 months? The answer is no, because it changes always. It changes. The changes that we understand on our demographics is really fast paced. And as one of our audience here mentioned, change is constant. That's correct. So you need to make sure that you follow this target audience strategy, and then later on, if you are more interested about how to set it up, then we can always talk about it. Next is third, reporting. I will end with this. So in our reporting, this is the general advertising KPIs. We have CPM, we have CPV, CTR, CPC, CPL, CPA, CPO, we have ROAS. And usually, we just look at the reach. Right? If we are running an ad, we just look at the reach. We just look at the number of likes. Ay, nag-like yung crash score. Uy, nag-like or nag-heart yung crash ko. This is already a good campaign. But in reality, there's still a lot of things that you need to look at when it comes to asking yourself, or when it comes to having that leverage if your campaign is really performing or not. So this is what our reporting looks like: cost per mile, or the cost per thousand impressions, cost per view, click through rate, cost per click, cost per lead, cost per acquisition, cost per order, return on ad spend. So when you look at your business manager, there will be a lot of information, as what we call it, information overload, right? There is CTR, there is frequency, there is CTR. But what are the things that you should look at on a specific objective? If you are running an awareness campaign, look at your CPM, look at your reach. If you are running your video campaigns, look at cost per view, right? If you are running a campaign ad that has a landing page, look at the click-through rate, look at the cost per click. If you are also running funnel or website, if you are planning lead generation like send messages or Facebook form, then go to cost per lead, and then cost per acquisition, cost per order, and ROAS. So you don't have to be really, how do you call that? You don't have to be really overwhelmed with with a lot of KPIs there. You just need to make sure what's my objective, and I will find the first KPI that is the most appropriate to that. So if you want to take a screenshot for this. And then if you're running an awareness campaign, if you're at the beginning, or if you're on the first few stages of your business and you need to run awareness campaign, look at your reach and look at your cost per thousand impressions. So I did not include this, but I will just say this in words. No, one of the most important things that I also look at as a Facebook ads manager is to make sure that I look at the frequency, right? Because there is what we call ad fatigue, right? Fatigue, like FATIGUE. So uh, there is uh, there is a moment in your ad that it has already reached ad fatigue. Sometimes the ad fatigue, it really depends on the industry, but generally, if your ad if your campaign has the frequency of, let's say, three three, we can still accept that depending on your budget. But if it's already 3, 4, 5, 6, meaning to say that this specific campaign or this specific ad has been viewed by the same person for 5 times, for 6 times, for 7 times. And mind you, that is only the average, right? For any other person, that might be up to 10 times. So you have two things there. You need to look at the consideration that maybe your target market is already annoyed with your ads. They keep on seeing that, but they are not doing anything. Good thing that they are not blocking you yet. Number two is that you need to look at your target audience. So you need to go back here. Do you understand your core audience? Do you understand your custom audience? Do you have a lookalike audience that is generated from your custom audience, that is generated from your core audience, etc.? So it's always a matter of understanding the right the right target audience that we have set on our campaign. So again, I did not include that here, but that is very important. Look at your frequency, regardless of what objective it is. Is it awareness? Is it video views? Is it conversion? Look at your frequency, and the moment that it starts reaching like three and more than that, and that's the time that it's already a red flag. You need to look at your creatives. You need to look at your audience if you have ample amount of audience that your ads is being shown to, right? Next is this is way beyond Facebook na, no, but this is one of the few considerations that I have. So when you run Facebook ads, it's more than just about the creatives. It's more than just about the copy. Even it's more than just the budget, the audience that you set. But there are other complementary information that you need to understand, like the bounce rate. If you have a website and the bounce rate is really high, it means to say that even if you have a very good campaign, but your bounce rate is really high, then that is a problem. So if you are a business owner, or if you are a freelancer, Go to your tech guy, ask your developer what's our bounce rate, because even if you have a very good campaign, even if you have a very good ads, but if your bounce rate is really high, then there must be something wrong with your website or your landing page. Number two is page load time, right? So if you have a website or if you have a landing page and then it really loads, I mean, it takes a time, it takes a lot of time to load. Usually the goal for SEO for a website to load is just 2 to 3 seconds. But usually, some of the websites, especially here in the Philippines, they don't do SEO. They don't fix the problems with their website. That's why a lot of businesses take time to load, like maybe, let's say, for example, 6 to 7 seconds. And that's already a very long waiting time for the target audience. So you need to fix that, because that will also play a role on how your Facebook ads campaign will also perform. Of course, conversion rate, how many people actually bought or how many people actually, spent money on your campaign. And this is the most important thing, lifetime value. According to HubSpot, listen to this, customer value is equal to average purchase times the average number of purchases. So let's ask ourselves, what's a lifetime value? Now, according to the definition, this is how much profit we get from our customer, or that we generate from our customers during our relationship with them. So, um, let's I mean, let's put it in simpler words. It is the potential of our company to grow. So we need to know that what's the lifetime value of our customers. How do we compute that? Customer value is equals to average purchase value times average number of purchases. Customer lifetime value is equals to customer value times the average customer lifespan, or the number of customers times time of relationship. So if we know this, right, if we understand this, then we will be getting the specific amount that we are getting for each customer on how they spend and how much profit that we generate for each customer that we have. So the challenge right now is to control our lifetime value, right? How do we control our lifetime value? We cross sell and we upsell. We retarget those who have already seen our ads or those who have already engaged with us, and activation across many different platforms. So this lifetime value may be complicated to really understand, but it's really more about how much profit we generate for each customer that we have on the time that we spent with them, or on the time that we are having relationship with them, with our company or with our business. So the main point is, the higher the lifetime value, the greater the profit is. So you need to make sure that you lengthen the relationship time that you have with your customer. And that's what it is all about. It's all about relationship. I have been giving you examples. The longer that you spend time with your relationship with your customers, the higher the lifetime value, the higher the profit is. And that is what Facebook ads will help us to achieve. So yeah, I'm hoping that you guys really learned something. These things that I have also shared with you guys are maybe a little bit complicated, but if we can just always go back to them, and especially the computation here, then we will really understand how much of the lifetime value that we should really consider, or what are the ways or what are the strategies that we can do to make sure that we extend the lifespan, or to make sure that the time that we spend with our customers, or the time that they spend with us as loyal customers, will really be more lengthy, because the more that they stay with us, the more that the lifetime value increases, and meaning to say, it also increases our profit. And I will end with this, with a verse, guys. Yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. It can be read at First Timothy chapter 6 verse 6. So before I will end this, I'd like to share with you guys a little bit of a story from how we started our agency. So our agency is the Dream Team PH Digital Marketing Agency. And then as what Coach Grace mentioned earlier, that we are I was the marketing manager of Ford, Mazda, and Nissan. I was the marketing head for Mindanao operations. So if you are seeing Ford, Mazda, and Nissan here in Mindanao, most likely it's either I managed that or it's either I launched those dealerships. So I this was a very lucrative job. I was I was really earning a lot because of the position, because of the all the perks that come with it. However, one time I was having, trouble sleeping, and God spoke to me through the word, and God spoke to me through a revelation that um true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. And in those moments, in those months, a friend of mine came to me, and then she said, Gab, the Lord wants me to prophesy or to speak to you that He will use you to create job opportunities here in Mindanao. And I did not really understand that, right? Because in the first place, I was very happy with my lucrative job. I did not really think about changing jobs because I was very happy. I was earning so much during that time. But when God calls, He provides. So I decided to resign, and one of my colleagues told me that it was the most stupid decision that she actually encountered ever on her life, because my position is one of the most sought after positions in the company, but I had to let it go because when God calls us somewhere else, what we just really need to do is to obey. So to cut the long story short, I resigned, and then something happened, and then eventually, I did not really have the money to put up something for my own company. And then my friend approached me, and he said, Gab, I believe that God will do something for our generation and for our nation through you. And then he gave me 10,000 pesos. So he said to me, na, Gab, start something with 10,000 pesos. And after 2 to 3 years, we were able to grow the 10,000 pesos to up to 4 million pesos revenue in our agency. So it's not really about, bragging. It's not also about telling you guys that I am wealthy, because that's always given back to the company. But the main point is that no matter how small we think our effort is, and no matter how difficult it will be to obey God, as long as you do it for Him and you do it for others, then we know that we can never go wrong for it. And right now, the Dream Team is employing around 20 employees here in Mindanao, and it's providing decent job opportunities for many people. And I'm really, really thankful for God because of that. So grow your business or your client's business through Facebook ad marketing. Thank you, everyone, and God bless. Thank you, Coach Grace, and the rest of the Surge Marketplace family. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a beautiful story, and what an encouragement to end our effective Facebook ads marketing free training to everybody. And thank you very much, Coach, for sharing. So it's not just telling us that Facebook ads marketing is empowering clients, but it's also inspiring that out of this we can actually build other people's lives and empower people's lives. And that's what Surge is always here, and Surge is always being guided. That's our North Star, social empowerment. So thank you, Coach, for you know um, always encouraging us, and thank you for the meaty discussion. And again, if you have questions, please let us know. I know that maybe when Coach Gab was discussing some insights and tips earlier, so you were like, just like me, you were like checking into your Facebook ads and like, are we hitting the reporting and everything? Okay, things like that. So thank you also for teaching us that it's not just conversion right away. So you have to take care of your target market just like you're taking care of the relationship, from awareness conversion to a consideration to conversion, and the other types of ads that come with it. So, a round of applause. Thank you very much. And again, if you have questions, please add your questions. We may have maybe 5 minutes more for questions. Okay. But a lot are already saying thank you to Coach Gab. So there's Dorcas. Okay. God is good. Amen to that. Okay. Also, others are saying amazing story and inspired by the story. And again, all of these things, not just through Facebook ads, not just through freelancing, but I think your dedication and, the things that you have in your heart, it may not be something that is happening right away, but over time, I know that it's something that you can do if you focus and give your dedication to it. All right, so we have a few questions here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and highlight this. Thank yous to Coach Gab. So I think we have two questions so far. Number one from Frederick, watching from LinkedIn. So important strategies for startup business, Coach. Maybe when it comes to doing ads for business that are startups, maybe
Yeah.
just like maybe some tips on where also um, the dream team started.
Yes. Thank you, Coach. Actually, we also competed as a startup in the past years, and as I also mentioned, we were also awarded with. We were also finalists with, as we competed against many startups in other international countries. So one of the things that I could really share with you, Fred, is to make sure to know who your target market is. Right? You need to know what their need is, and you need to be able to provide solution for that. So I think that's a good starter. But the second thing that you need to understand is the way that you know your target market should not be just your only north star. You need to keep talking to them. You need to keep learning about them, because again, the changes in our target market is very fast paced. So yes, learn about them, understand them, learn what motivates them, learn what are they anxious about. But number two, always keep learning about them. And then third, which is very important, always provide solutions for them.
True. I agree to that. So, especially with the solution-driven business
Mhm.
model, so a lot of people are just even will stop in producing value, but sometimes our values are too hard to avail. So make
Yeah.
sure that you're solutions-driven as well, not just value-driven, but solutions-driven. We also have here a question. Coach, can you give examples for demographics that we should put in our business? And they are a pet store. Should I put pet owners as one of the interest as well?
Okay. Thank you for that, Coach. Maybe I would just also like to add on my answer on the first question that will also
Mhm,
lead me to answering this. The most important thing that we should remember is, what can we offer that others could not offer? Because
mhm,
there are already a lot of businesses out there who are trying to offer the same solutions that you are trying to offer. So what is that something we usually call that unique selling proposition, but
mhm,
many people already know that. But what is that one thing that only you can offer? I'd like to give you one example, guys. When you work as an agency owner, or when you work in an agency, there will be a lot of competitions. Yeah, you compete with people from Pakistan. I don't know, Coach Grace, if you were also able to notice that there have been an increasing number of agencies in Pakistan, in South Africa. There
yeah,
are, yeah,
sure.
yeah, India. There are their economy. Now, if we can put at that, their economy when it comes to agency owners are also really booming. So how can you make sure that you are a few steps ahead of competition? You need to know that your solution is the only solution to that problem. You can share
Mhm,
that with others, right? So
mhm,
I would share with you one of the strategies that we have. So in our agency, we have social media, we have SEO, we have website. But I always tell our clients here and abroad, we don't sell these services. We don't sell social media. We don't sell Facebook ads. We don't sell website. We sell strategy. And the moment that we say that to our to our clients, they would eventually sign off the contract because they
Mhm.
understand that this is not just about the services, but this is about how they can help me grow my business. And that's where the unique selling proposition comes in. And you would ask, Coach Gab, why did you share that if that is one of your strategies? It's because, selling strategy is more than just a word. You can just say it out loud without really proving that you can deliver that. So it
Mhm.
takes a year, it takes years of process, it takes learnings, it takes knowledge in order for you to deliver that promise. So going back to the question of our friend, the thrift, something about coach, can you give examples for demographics we should put if the business is about pet store? Well, number one, as I gave you the example before, you can do demographics if you already know your detailed audience or detailed interest. But again, I mentioned two different conditions. Number one, do you have an ample amount of budget to spend on your Facebook ads? If the answer is yes, proceed to number two. Do you have a captured location? If yes, then go for blanket audience. Don't do any interest yet. And then allow Facebook to give you that data. After 2 weeks, use that data, create a custom audience, create a look-alike audience. And that's what we usually call retargeting. But look-alike audience will expand our knowledge about them. And eventually it really works. So again, if you have the budget, yes, do it in blanket. If you don't have the budget yet, if you have, relatively lower budget when it comes to Facebook ads, do detailed targeting. You can target pet store, you can target brands, you can target brands of like dog food, you can target you can even target influencers. You can just put that under interest and their names will just come up. They are that famous, and then they will also be appearing on the news feed of your target market. So yeah.
Thank you, Coach. I think in connection with that, Katrina is asking how to set up a proper target audience for Facebook ads.
Yeah, in order for us to do that, first is we need to have a basic knowledge of what our customer, what who is our target audience. Again, you need to ask what appeals to their emotion. Do they want to be entertained? Are they fearful? Are they anxious? I think Katrina is from Sun Life, so you can bank on financial security. I can see on her Facebook, yeah, on her display
Mhm.
photo. So you can bank on. By the way, my wife's name is also Katrina. She is also from Sun Life. So you
Katrina
can,
with a K. Yeah.
yeah. So you can always bank on their fears and anxieties, and you can put their
Hierarchy of needs.
yeah, hierarchy of needs. That's correct, coach. So you also need to make sure that when you set up your target audience, you need to put there the competitors like PruLife or Manulife or etc. Because most likely all those who get life insurance, they are the kind of people who really study it. So they are
Mhm.
not just targeted by one company, but they are targeted by a lot. So make sure that you also include your competitors.
Thank you, Coach. Kale or Kalil, how do we keep up with the trend of doing marketing in Facebook? Is there any tools or apps that we can use to know current ways and of doing Facebook ads?
I would say that keep on learning, Cal L. There will be a lot of tools. Yes, that's correct. We have HubSpot. Sorry, we have like HubSpot. We have Leadsy. We have um, we have a lot of tools that we can use. Even we can use Google Analytics at that, right? In order for us to really understand our numbers. But for me, don't stop learning. Enroll to Surge courses. Aside
Mm-hmm.
from, and this is just a shameful brag, kumbaga. Uh, uh, um, you need to make sure that since the market is also changing, you also need to make sure na your knowledge about them is also changing or is also trying to keep up with that. So, ako personally, I'm already called coach dito sa Surge, but I'm still learning. I have a lot of books when it comes to digital marketing. I talk to a lot
True.
of Facebook ads managers. I talk to them. On a weekly basis, I chat with my friends. Hey guys, what are you doing? Kamusta mo? Ay, kamusta kayo? Ganyan. What are the strategies that you use? How is the digital marketing landscape is doing for you? What's the connection of the higher dollar in terms of the ad spend of the client? So, well, the main answer to that is never stop learning.
That's very true. And because when you're also doing it, the more you get the insights and the best practices also on what really works. So you have
Yes,
to be in the river to actually know how to swim
correct.
oftentimes. Coach, aside ninyo iba po yung Facebook ads marketing. Yep, that's Coach Kathy. That's one of our trainers as well. So Coach Gab here is another trainer under Surge as well. So he handles usually Mindanao. How much is the budget that we need to prepare to achieve effective ads, Coach?
Thank you for that question, Roselle. So, budget is actually just one facade of effective ads. We need to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we have set up the right audience. We have to make sure that we have set up the right campaign to begin with. But for the sake of discussions, a budget, we usually have a conservative budget. For example, here in the Philippines, we just use, let's say, 500 pesos per day. And then if you are catering clients from the US, you can start with $10 per day, or let's say $20 per day, depende on how conservative they are with their marketing budget. And from that, you can take it to your own analysis. If your ad is experiencing ad fatigue, stop it. Then change your audience, or I mean, refine your audience, refine your creatives. It's always about seeing it in the big picture, and the budget is just one facade of that. But again, to answer that, to put it in simple words, start with a conservative budget. You can just do 500 to 1k per day, and then you will just also learn after that.
So it's really more customer centric. So you have to be there and ensure that because you may have a really big budget, but it's not working because it's bringing a lot of fatigue to your audience. So if the budget is there, and you can start with whatever is suggested, at least on the Facebook Ads Manager, but that's not the effectivity of any ads. We have three more questions. Okay, Coach, what's usually the best time to run ads?
Yes, that's a good question. You can look at your insights on Facebook page. They have already updated that, but go to the posts and you can see the time and the days with higher engagement or higher reach, and that is when I usually run my ads. So go back to your organic data. So you can all we can't really always dismiss the organic data because they always give us really useful information.
Ads are more effective than boosting, coach. Boosting is right from the page, and then ads is using ads manager.
Yeah, that's a good question because that's also a misconception thrift-wise. Because usually, most of the business owners, I assume that you are a business owner thrift-wise. So, most of the business owner, when they have a budget, they just usually boost post. But the main difference between the two is that when you uh, when you boost a post, you need to make sure that it has already met the criteria for the organic performance. It has a good number of reach. When you say a good number of reach, it's times 10 or times 20 than the usual reach that you have. The engagement is the same, it's higher than the usual. The comments, likes and shares and etc. Then that's the time that you boost it. So boosting a post is like putting fuel to a car that is ready to run. So you can put money on you can put fuel on a broken car because it will not just run. So you need to make sure it has to perform first, then boost it. The common misconception is that once we have a budget, we just boost something. That's wrong. If we want to start like from the scratch, then that's the time that we go to the ads manager, create the right campaign objective, create the right audience, because boosting a post is really limited when it comes to the audience and budget.
Okay. I know I mentioned last four, maybe last two. Okay. Coach, when selling something online, do we need to make Facebook ads or organic will do, or do we have to really do Facebook ads?
Yeah. As what I mentioned, I have a bias when it comes to Facebook advertising, because the moment that you spend something, it's almost a guarantee that times two or times three will also go back to you in the form of customer, in the form
Mhm.
of revenue, or in the form of, let's say, subscription, and it's already a valuable information. So yes, we need that. However, you also need to know if we have a budget. Good thing is that Facebook gives us Facebook ad credits. You can start with that. They give usually 500 to 1000 pesos, so make sure you check your email, because they send you Facebook ad credits. But the answer is definitely yes.
Yeah, I can also attest to that. And it's not just conversion all the time, but sometimes we let go of the thought that it's also going towards brand awareness. That's where you can go ahead and have more trust to your business because they've seen you somewhere, and maybe not right away they're going to buy your products or your services, but later on they should be able to because they have been seeing you. Last question, if you're handling a client from Australia, how do you configure the settings so that the price of the product will be Australian dollar and not in peso?
Yes, that's a good question. You just need to go to your business info or to your Facebook business manager. There is a setting there to, in the payment settings, to change the currency of the Facebook business manager. Coach, can I have one last
Yes,
final
sure.
one?
Mhm.
So we have this client. We have this client that we have a considerably good amount of ad budget for them, and we have been running ads for them for the past 3 to 4 years, and we've been running ads for them like aggressively in the past 2 years. But in the past year, we have stopped running ads for them, and most of the things that we are doing are just organic campaigns, like
Mhm.
posting something to them, email marketing. And you know what we have what we have generated as a revenue for this client is very competitive to how much revenue we were able to generate as compared to when we were still doing ads. So it really
Mhm.
pays for in the long term, because you
True.
have already built the trust, the loyalty, the
Mhm.
retention is there. So in the next 5 years to 10 years, you might have to lower down your budget, because all those audience that you have, they are already promoting and advocating for your business, so that you don't have to do it yourself by spending for ads.
Yeah. That's what actually Surge has been doing the past
Yes.
few years.
Yes.
So yeah, the first I think back in 2 to 3 years ago, we were spending like a lot of money, but now we're only spending 10% of what we used to spend, or even probably sometimes 5% of what we used to spend. But still, it's there because of the brand awareness that we were able to establish. All right. So I think we're all good. Thank you very much for all the insights, Coach. And again, it's like we mentioned earlier, we have a gift coming for everybody. And in order for you to attain that gift coming from Coach Gab and benefit from this training, and it's only exclusive to all of the virtual training attendees, not to everybody. So for you to do that, please go ahead and sign in and fill in our feedback form and use this code. This will be asked in the feedback form. It's right there, okay, at the bottom. Okay, so the training code is Surge FAM or Facebook Ads Marketing Course. Okay, Surge FAM course, and then fill in the feedback form. It's going to ask you how can we improve, how can our speakers improve, and then afterwards we will send you the gift and also the certification. We are going to be ending here. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We hope that this has been a really significant virtual training, free training with certification and a gift to everybody in order to empower you guys. May you be a freelancer, a marketer, or a business owner. And I hope that the sharing that Coach Gab, not just on the Facebook ads, effective tips and strategies, but also his life and the sharings that he mentioned earlier, where he started and how he was able to empower lives now and companies all over the world, has also inspired you. So that would be all. Any parting words, Coach, before we end?
Yes, keep learning. Search is always here to help you, and one of the most important things that Search really offers is the after sale. As I mentioned, you don't need your customers just to be happy during the purchase. You need to make them happy always, even after the purchase. And Surge is really always willing to help you guys, and we will, do the extra mile to help you, because we want to also see you grow in your life.
So hindi ka namin pakikiligin lang.
Yes.
Fun. We will be there even after the course completion. All right.
Yes, sure.
Thank you, everybody. God bless you all. Have a great week ahead, and God bless.